Hey everybody, what's cracking? It's Paul from I Like to Paint Minis. Today's topic is inspiration. I want to start out by thanking everybody that subscribed to my channel so far. I have 74 out there. Thank you very much. I'm very humbled to have that, especially being a new channel. I'm starting to see growth in certain areas, and hopefully I can switch the topics up enough to be different for you. And guess what? The door just popped open. I don't have a ghost. It's my dog. Otherwise, I think with an inspiration, the questions have been asked like, what inspires you? What inspires you to paint the miniature that you did it that way with those colors, or even to keep the inspiration going? Is burnout true of this hobby? It is. It happens in phases. And then I've watched other videos and great YouTubers out there that I aspire after to see how they switch up their game. So we're going to go over a few of those things. I'm going to share them with you. Once again, everything's unscripted. You might hear me swear. You're definitely going to hear music in the background. I want to keep this channel real. I'm trying to get to grow. But the main thing is I want to have fun and give back to people and teach them. And if you pick up at least one thing in my channel, one thing over here, then that works for you, right? If not, it could be a long video. Click away, save it, come back later. If you like what you see, I'm not asking you to donate. I don't have a Patreon or anything right now. Click the subscribe button. Share it with a friend who might get inspired by something like this. So what we're going to do here, we're going to get started in a couple seconds, go over some of the inspirational stuff that I have to share. Some of it's actually probably going to date me, maybe date you if you're watching this channel and you fall in that older group category on YouTube. Otherwise, thanks for joining, and we're going to get started. All right, everybody, I'm back. So inspiration can come in many formats, different ways for me. Maybe it's going to come different from you, but always let it come from a place that excites you or comes from a good place, right? So let's go over some things that make it pop for me. I'm going to probably not go through my whole collection, but I'm going to go through some books, maybe show the cover. If it gets too long, like I said in the video, save it, pause it, put it in your history, come back later, or just, click away, make a comment. Maybe you want to see shorter videos. Or leave me comments or send me a message through my contact information and ask me something you'd like to see on the channel that could be inspiration for painting or whatever, right? All right. So for me, my main game that I focus on is Dungeons and Dragons, right? And as I mentioned, your hobby's gonna grow. You can't see all the books, but I'm dating myself back to probably early 80s. But these books, man, they cost like 60 bucks. Unless you get them on sale or whatever it may be, right? But the inspiration's great. It's here. Use it for an alternative method, I was thinking. So, I mean, look at this cover on this book. Hopefully you can see it. It's not zoomed out too far or whatever it may be. But this thing's popping. I mean, if you've never seen a beholder, you're like, what is that thing? Check it out. If you're painting a beholder, from WizKids or whatever, they're going to have one color of the artwork on the box. That's going to inspire you. But you might, if you already own this stuff, come through and check it out. The artwork is amazing. I mean, look at this. This is a bronze dragon. Does it have to be painted this way? But no. I mean, look, it's got the great bronzy looking color, the nickeling that's from corrosion or whatever it may be. Dude, these are awesome. So let's take a look at a few pictures here, right? I mean, these guys are awesome. The way the skin pops and the way it goes. Maybe the pose. Maybe you have another type of miniature that's in this pose that you want to focus on, right? And then that can get you going from there. This guy is a planetar. I could be saying it wrong, if I am, let me know. Hopefully you can see on this page, a deva. These are like gods or whatever they may be, celestials. And if I get something wrong, I'm not doing a review on the monster manual. I'm actually doing art. But if you still want to correct me, go ahead. That helps the algorithm. But I mean, look at these things. They're freaking amazing, dude. Detailed artwork. And as I mentioned again, you don't have to do that theme, that color or whatever. But it's going to click in your head. It's going to give you a thing. Sometimes when we look at miniatures that are like this, we ask ourselves, what the heck? How in the heck am I going to paint that? Right? This one's from Archon Studios. I think it's like a demon sleeping god or whatever. But at the end of the day, you might see their artwork and go, I don't like the way that looks, but I bought this model for a reason. Now, get popping, get inspired. Go through your books. Go out to videos. Look at different things. But I mean, if you look at these things, you can even get inspired by some of the colors in your skin tone. Different things to see, hey, I'm painting flesh. How is that going to work for me? right? Well, look at your own, and then try to match it back up to your colors. Maybe there's terrain or certain material things that you're putting out there. Most of us have never been around a real sword. Maybe this sword's popping. Maybe there's something on the internet that you want to see. Let's get more. Look at this guy, man. It's freaking awesome. I mean, how am I going to do the flames? I don't know. But I'm going to try, right? These are different things. Let's pull back the pages here a little bit. Look at these areas. Oh, man, this thing is awesome. For me, this would make me pop. I have a bunch of Egyptian miniatures, and I might hit up these with different colors for the Egyptian theme. I actually have these ones. They're like Egyptian Tabaxi Queen Lords. I actually think I did one on here, but it doesn't mean you have to do the typical colors that you see in Egypt. This could be Egyptian because of the face, the way it looks, the hammer, something that works for you, right? I mean, these books are amazing, the way we go through them and consume them. Sometimes when you're playing D&D, you're looking for this, but you also want to share this with your players, right? These things can make it awesome. So we flipped through that one. This is a 2014 Monster Manual, right? Here's the new one, right? Let's get a couple pages here. I mean, these things are to the extreme. The artwork has gotten different in the years, but these are going to give you ideas, right? I know you're watching me flip pages. You're like, stay there, right? If you don't have the manuals, you can look these up online too. There's artwork that you can pop online, say, Demon Lord, Dungeons and Dragons. And then if it's on Google, just click on image. And then you go to the image part, and then it's going to bring up the image right there on your thing. Print it, save it to your desktop. Those are great ideas. I mean, look at these things. Oh, dude. What are these? Jaggerwockies or whatever? Those are awesome. There's another theme for Egyptian-like cats, right? Look at his necklace and everything, or his whatever that is, his tunic, his scarf, his clothes. These are awesome, dude. Like I said, these books are getting more and more expensive. If you're in the hobby and you have bought the books, multi-purpose, right? Inspiration for your game. Get you to know more about the miniatures. Not to cheat if you're in a campaign and you're playing with your DM. Never take your monster manual to your thing unless you're the DM, right? Unless you're going to share with your DM. Okay, off topic. Sorry, that happens when I've had too much coffee in the morning. Coffee. Coffee's good. That could be an inspiration. Look at this artwork, man. It's amazing to look at these. And then, of course, you got your battle scenes. Maybe you're in a battle scene working something on terrain. And then for me, I have the luxury to look at, and maybe some of you have them, old books, right? Old D&D books. This one's, I wish they would make it again. Maybe they do have a new copy of it. For 5th edition, maybe they don't. Maybe they're in other areas. But deities and demigods. Oh my gosh. Now this book's going to be old school in a sense, but it's not going to be color, right? But I mean, I can look at Oriental adventures, different things, different artwork concept like dragons, and get inspired by the old school artwork from the 80s. These probably aren't coming in too good, but look at these pictures, man, of these pirates or whoever there may be. A pariah or whisper of the impossible secrets. Dude, that is like a different type of octopus. It's a god, right? I mean, the people at D&D had the imaginations like Elmore and those people and their artwork. It unlocked it for me. Hopefully it can unlock it for you, especially if you're playing D&D. Awesome work. And at the same time, I'm doing a double duel here, sharing videos with you, is going through. Someone asked me about my Dungeons and Dragons collection too, because I showed lead minis. And I want to go over some past things that I have. I'm kind of like a hoarder in certain things and probably run out of my room. My wife's probably like, oh my God, can you get rid of some of this stuff? Check it out. I don't know if you can see it here. TSR, products of your imagination. Well, guess what? Today, imagination, inspiration. I'll flip through just a couple pages of these because there's not much. Yep, it seems kind of cartoony, but if not, you might be working on miniatures like that. You'll get inspired, like an elf, right? His jacket, a blue basket. He's got red apples in there, right? Some of the older books, especially the rule books, didn't have a lot of pictures per se, but it's the imagination. But look at this mummy guy, dude. So me, this guy right here, if you can see him really good on the camera, I'd paint this cat up like Mumroth from Thundercats. Not the newer versions, but like, the old school ones in the 80s. If I didn't mention a couple times already, I'm pretty much old, right? All right, so we're gonna flip out of this one because there's not a lot of artwork. Here's another one. And you can Google these books on internet, get images, right, and maybe look at them. This one is the Oriental Adventures. You know what? I've never used this book, but when I got it, it was part of a collection I bought from someone, and I was like, oh man, check out that artwork. It's gonna happen, right? I'm gonna be playing D&D, and we're gonna get into some type of adventures at the time. And by the way, if you're PC, and so am I, this is not the correct term in that aspect. It could be, correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, let's flip open a couple pages here. Let's check it out. This is most talk about weapons, but I want to say this guy's like a samurai. Check out his Yakuza tattoos and stuff. Oh man, that is awesome work, dude. You know, I don't know who the artist on this one is. I'm not gonna go flip back through the book, but I would have to say it's a lot of different people from the old school generation, right? Because this book, I believe, was in the 80s. Different types of armor that is not just your traditional armor to look at per se, like a sword, a shield, a mace, or whatever. These are more of, because it's following the adventures. You got ninja swords, nunchucks, or they call it a three-piece rod, because maybe, no, nunchuck is there. I thought it would be copyrighted, but who knows. Books like this are amazing things. Even just the art cover, if you never open it up. One of my favorite books of all time is this scene. This scene is actually bigger. It's an artwork, a bigger piece of art, but it's been iconic. It's on one of my shirts I have. This is the player's handbook. This is from, we'll find out in the inside. But my gosh, dude, look at this thing. You know, just the artwork in general, the colors that make it vibrant, especially from that era, but also the imagination that gives you or inspiration when you go to play your game. If your DM holds this up, this book, or you have this book, you're like, you know what they're doing, right? They're definitely defying the temple or taking the jewels, getting rich, however you want to look at it. But if you look at the different characters, these two guys, what do they think talking about? What just happened? Did they kill a bunch of things? Is the wizard healing this guy or this cleric? Dude, it's crazy, man. Yes, my names are in the books. My mom wrote all my names in my books. All right, so let's see when this is from. I don't find 1978, man. Wow. I probably got this book in the 80s, right? 78. Let's see. Yeah, there's no real pictures in here, but check out that. They're conspiring what to do next. Like he's saying, I can detect gold over there, right? Or whatever, dude. These books are awesome. Another book, The Fiend Folio. Great for different inspirations of monsters, characters, dragons, whatever. Oh man, look at this. Loth, Demon Queen of Spiders. Dude, I think there's actually a module that I'm going to share that has that on it. But these books make it happen. Another Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Legends of Lore. This is Odin, right? He's got his 8-legged horse. Actually, we were in a campaign a while back. One of our players, his god was Odin, and actually came to help us. It was rare, but definitely got us out of the abyss or demon's hells because they wanted to suck our souls or put us in their army to recruit us. Let's pop it open. Yeah, Legends and Lores. Kale, Black Earth Mother. If you can see that, dude, that is wicked smart, man. She's like she's like got all the multiple arms and teeth. Oh man, shit. Another Dungeons & Dragons Monster Manual. Just the artwork on this alone. Look, when I first saw this book as a kid, I was like, man, check out that giant looking dude, right? And then as I kept looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the guy down there, man. He's so small or whatever. And I look at it today, I'm like, that would be great for a battle scene or a wilderness scene, right? But more of the monsters, different inspiration. And then of course I got the old school monster manual. As a kid, you know, these were like, oh, these led my mind crazy, right? They were definitely there. Traditional monsters, right? Giant purple worm. These guys are running. You got a centipede. Can't remember his name now. I know that's a griffin. Awesome stuff, dude. Unicorn, Centaur, or Centaur, or however you want to say it. And of course, a red dragon. So let's move over. We're going to go through a few more of this section. We'll pop over to the next section that I wanted to share with you. But check these out. So now, these are old school modules that I had someone take me through. I even bought modules to have other people take me through, or I was planning on taking people through. A lot of it's from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, but this is one that I think I went through, but I bought it because not this. I bought it because this sells me. It probably sells a lot of people. But Beyond the Crystal Caves, man, great module, great artwork. I mean, look at that. Right? I always thought treants were nice, right? Maybe this guy attacked it. Who knows? But even to paint sometimes would look at the dungeons. I look at these now and see how the art would look if I'm doing a terrain piece. It gave me ideas, right? And then I'm not going to flip through these too much because the old school modules didn't do artwork justice, right? In some areas. It was usually the front cover. Another awesome module, and I think they've popped this out in 5e. Pretty sure they have because I talked to DMJ about it because he knows my passion is for D&D as his. But the Sinister Secret of the Salt Marsh. Say that 5 times fast. But look at that, man. And I don't want to ruin it, but it's... I'll check out the module. Go online if you're looking for some different type of adventure, not your typical dungeon crawl. This is definitely the one to go for. Especially if you like to have some swashbuckling in your adventure, you know, it just depends. And let's get even older, because I do the collection. Survival of the Fittest. This might look, you know, old school, like, oh, it's kind of corny or whatever. But for me, I look at it as getting old school, keeping it simple with the colors. There's not too many pop in here, right? Green, yellow. This was probably more red at the time or pinkish. The Damsel in Distress, you know? These books were awesome. And this was Judges Guild. And I think at the time you could use it for 5e. But it was more of a tutorial or a guidebook within those areas. I don't think there's too much more artwork. It's simple. This book's so old, it looks like someone printed it and made Xerox copies. If the Xerox was back then. Old school monster manuals, right? I think this was the advanced or the expert game, right? But look at that scene. He's laundering, and they're using their old school. We'll see this book here in a second. But artwork like that pops. Here's from one of the new starter sets. This is an iconic picture, right? You're gonna, if you play D&D or you do stuff, this is all over the internet. Elmore's Dragon. There's a YouTube video. There's a video on Amazon Prime. If you have it, it's still free. It's called In the Eye of the Beholder or The Eye of the Beholder. It talks about the beginning of TSR, Dungeons and Dragons, but a lot about the art. Here's another one. Yeah, this book's a little beat up. This is the original cover from that, but I look at this, I'm like, oh man, they're taking on a dragon. Look at that big pile of loot, right? How am I gonna paint it? What am I gonna do with it? And we'll just go, I'm not gonna call all these out, but you can see the artwork from some of these. The Lost Tomb of Maritek. Things popping, man. More Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Fire Kings, look at this. We'll just scroll through these really slow. I'm not gonna call out the names. You might have played some of these when you were a kid, adult, maybe you're playing them now, maybe someone popped it out to 5e for you. I want to say the Vault of the Drow Queen, the Drow Spider. I think I just showed you that in one of the past books. Ghost of the Tower. Look at that. Who knew an ant could hold a sword? Right? Sure, why not? Even a shield. They're smart. Swashbuckling pirates. The area of the slave lords. Another slave lords. This is a cool module. I haven't actually been through it. I was planning on taking some players through this, but I decided on something different since I'm a new DM. We're in the last part of what we're doing right now. We're working on Stormwreck Isle. Mad props out there to the people who are serious DMs. There's a lot of work that involves being a DM and then trying to be good at it. And if you're trying it, try it. Put yourself out there, see what you can do. Awesome artwork. Oh my gosh. This one is a trippy module because it has D&D, but it also involves like spaceships and different people. Look at it, he's got a gun, right? Who couldn't say that, right? And of course, I love the Egyptian themed things, right? Look at that, man. I'm gonna swallow your soul. I don't know. So different types of things get you inspired. If you can play this in 5e, do this module. Have your DM take you through it. It is awesome. It is awesome. So we're gonna pause here for a second, get a video from our sponsor today. Hey, it's Paul with I Like to Paint Minis, and today's sponsor is this guy. Now, I just want to put this in here in a sense. I don't have any sponsorship yet. I'm looking for sponsorship. I don't know if this is the right way to reach out and do it, but I've been talking to a few people, and also this is a time where I want to say, truly, if you have comments, you want to reach out to me. I try to get back to people right away, talk about topics about painting their miniatures, maybe how to clean my brushes. That's going to be a video coming up soon. I know to me at first I thought it seemed overdone on YouTube, but you know what? Sometimes we got to go with the basics. So if you like to have, and here I'll put it out there, if you're a store or a shop or someone watching this, or if you want to have a miniature painted, reach out to me and we can figure out a way to get it on the channel. I can mention the company's name. If you're someone that just has minis and plays and watches the channel and you haven't painted yet, I'm not taking on commissions, but I can definitely maybe help you within that area, especially if you're local. Otherwise, let's get back to the video and we'll go from there. All right, we're back. And who was that cheesy sponsor? So I wanted to go over some more inspirational things, taking a look at some miniatures, for example. You're going to find out you're going to collect a lot of boxes to inspire yourself for the art before and after you open them. If you don't have space like me, you're gonna get a lot of boxes. So maybe cut out the cardboard piece of the picture or keep it itself. Otherwise, you're gonna run out of room, especially with all the miniatures. Check out this guy. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. Second time doing this video. This guy is Gromit Gits. Now this was a holiday special that Warhammer releases every year around the holidays, especially around Christmas. Total inspiration from a color theme for Christmas or other aspects of it. Definitely a cool miniature. And the sponsorship today is a free sponsorship. My friend down in Houston owns a store. We were down there for work related stuff, but he also has a hobby store. If you're local in Houston and you watch my channel, you need to get to Halcyon Games. They got everything you need from miniatures, Warhammer miniatures, WizKids, Reaper. They got brushes, paint, dice. They even have in-room gaming. Big Magic the Gathering there. People come to play all the time. It was popping, and I was only there at noontime. Should have been working, but we were at a store. Otherwise, killer store, good person. Halcyon Games. I'm going to try to put the website in the comment notes, so check it out. So now we'll throw this to the side. Here's some more Warhammer. There's all types, right? This might inspire you. This guy's a Darkath Chieftain or Darkarath Chieftain. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Help out my algorithm. Haven't put this together yet. As I told you, start to collect miniatures. Simple sprue miniature. Probably 5 or 6 steps on this one. Awesome miniature, great detail. There's some ones that I picked up, and I'm in the process of working on these, or I have been for a few months. This is Dungeons & Dragons. This is a collector series. Igwil's Treasure, or Igwil's Treasure. Check her out, man. She's like, I am the queen bitch. You will bow to me. And he's like, no way, I ain't gonna take that. Definitely great inspiration, even if you're doing a themed room to give you for the dungeon interior, even if you're creating something around this. And I hope you are, but if you're not, you're just painting the miniatures. This is, like I said, from a classic module that you can see right there. Another great inspiration. Got some more Warhammer. Some are going to be, and you're going to get inspired. You might be one of the artists that wants to do darker or grim dark color in those areas. You might want to do things that pop, right? It just depends. Here's another miniatures. These are metal miniatures by Bolt Action. I kept this box because I'm in the process because it's a winter theme, right? So you definitely want to keep winter. You can see how they were dressed then. This is the artist's work. And remember too, on the box, when you see the artist's work like this, and for Warhammer, yeah, this was painted by someone, but it was definitely enhanced by marketing to make this pop more, to feed your addiction to grab the miniature off the shelf. So remember that, and you're always starting out. Then these are examples of how they were painted up by the artist at Bolt Action or World War Games. Great company for miniatures too, especially if you're in the military. Some more examples. As I told you a while back in other videos, I backed Archon Studios, another Dungeon Lasers that they have. They just keep coming out. This is one of the stretch goals boxes, but it was Day Slayer. By the way, guys, D&D 5e compatible. Awesome set, give you inspiration. I'm gonna keep stacking here. This was actually in this set. It was a gelatinous cube, and this is another thing that I do to share with you. I'll take out a miniature before I paint it now. I'll look at it, try to find all the small detail. This one already came cleared. The only thing I painted so far is this skeleton, but then I start to look for things like the sword. I just started noticing today, there's some skulls right up in here that pop. I would have never noticed those without being on the camera. And that's how I make sure I take everything into detail. And then I kind of select paints that I think I might want, right? I'm always a method to my madness. Other inspiration. So I bought Gunfighters 2 a long time back. Those were the cowboys. This is the cowgirl version. You'll see the colors, Midwestern, some jeans, popping navy blue, some plums in those areas. But then if you want to flip it to the back, they'll give you what the artist actually did to give you more detail. Man, that chicken should be fun, especially how I paint it, right? Maybe I'll like have its head cut off like they just hatcheted it or something. Other artwork that might inspire you. Original, I need to get this down a little bit, sorry. Original artwork or box sets, right? From some of your RPG stuff that you're playing. Get those. I mean, this one is Dungeons and Dragons. It can definitely inspire me going forward in different areas. Classic stuff, another way to get inspired. I'm working on a Star Wars piece. I think more than anything, you're going to see inspiration that I'm inspiring myself, or I'm buying too many damn miniatures from too many genres of games I don't play. I play Dungeons and Dragons for sure. But a Tauntaun, always wanted to paint one of those as a kid. Actually own one. Who didn't want to own a Tauntaun from Empire Strikes Back or go to Hoth? Definitely cool 2 Tauntauns in this bit. Has all the game tokens and all that. Since I don't play, usually what I do is I go to my local gaming store and people that are playing the game, I just give those to them. There's no need for me to have them. And then otherwise I start collecting stuff. So let's pop out one last piece here of inspiration. I'm also working on terrain. This is made for Pathfinder, a game, or it's called the Abolition Vaults. I bought this. This is also from Archon Studio. It comes not painted, but this is how they see it, probably from the game that it's in Pathfinder. But you can paint this any way you want, right? But I also would be inspired by this box, especially by the evil octopuses on the walls. These sets are pretty cool. They ship gray, like a gray plastic, and you snap them together and make like a scene, right? You could have multiple of these with the dungeon box sets, and then you can paint them up. Now, they do sell those pre-painted, or they call it, I believe it's called Primacast. So those are really cool. But me, I don't want to get those because I want to paint, right? I want to do my own thing. One more thing that definitely inspires people, or it inspires me. I do this every so often. I'll take out a miniature. Back to an example, this one, right? And I'll sit there and go, man, how am I going to paint this guy? It's just so many different pieces and intricate. And the thing about painting miniatures for me is, I've learned this from some other great hobby channels, is work your way out. Work your way out from the model, like start your flesh and all that. It's worked for me. But another way I inspire myself is, these aren't all of them, and this is another addiction I have, but your dice. If you're playing Warhammer or D&D, check this out. See if the camera will zoom in on it. It's kind of a pinkish. You know, this could be a nice color to pop with the model, depending on what you're working on, a holiday model. Or you have, even though this one's clear, right? There might be something embedded inside that makes it pop for you. These look like just glitter pieces or flower pieces. There was another one that I wanted to share with you that gets me inspired when I'm working on a very grim dark model. Let's find that real quick. I think I had it earlier.
Well, it's not going to matter because I don't want to make this video any longer. But like I mentioned, there's different things that are in there, like this one. If you can see it, hopefully I can get it up in there. You're going to see like a mushroom in here. And when my players were recently playing Stormwreck Isle, there is Macandides in there, or mushroom folk as I call them. I use this for the rolls because it inspires me, keeps me going in the theme, right? So there's all different ways to inspire yourself. I also suggest, as I mentioned earlier, going out to Google, popping out images there, say Demon Lord, Dungeons and Dragons, and then click on the images tab and you'll see all these different images, right? That might be a way. Talk to your friends, talk to your DM. Maybe they need something painted up. They have theme colors. There's so many different things. Get inspiration from other channels out there like Ninjon and Miniac. Also, Obscurity and Miniatures. Him and his brother do painting. They're great. I love his channel because he's got me this hands approach. But also, they show some of the things they painted. This is something I'm recently working on from Reaper Miniatures too. It's going to be speed paints and dry brush, my 50-50 blends, right? But I had no clue how to paint her. Then I started looking at mermaids, and she is a mermaid or a fire genie. I forgot the exact name because you can see the lamp coming out here. Thought, man, she's gonna come out in red. But how did I get this color palette? I looked up fire Nazis, I think that's what it is, in my books, and I also looked it up on the internet, popped out some images, and then I went with this, but this is all inspirational here. And you can see a little bit of the flesh tone there. She's not done yet, but definitely gonna pop more. I think at the end of this video, what I like to say is more than anything, if something I said works, go with it. If it doesn't, maybe you got some type of inspiration, but at the end of the day, the only one that can really inspire them, yourself, is yourself. So have fun while you're doing it. You're gonna make mistakes, but you know what? You're gonna get better as you go. I like to say keep painting minis and keep at it. I've only been doing this almost 7 years now, and I am nowhere where I want to be, but I'm where I need to be, if that makes sense. Otherwise, thanks again for watching the channel. Leave me a comment, and let's go from there. Happy painting.